Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Going the Distance. This is episode 79. Can you believe we've done 79 episodes? I can't, but I want to welcome the new members who are just joining me for the first time, and I want to welcome back the members who have been joining me from the beginning. Your support is greatly appreciated. So before we get started, I want you to hit the thumbs up button and like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode when I post. So we got some football news to get into. We've got some NBA scores, some NHL playoff scores, and UFL scores, and the what we're listening to segment. So we got a big headline to talk about, but I'll probably get to that one last in the news segment. First, let's talk about Anthony Richardson. He's the third-year quarterback out of Indianapolis, or playing for Indianapolis. He's going to miss mandatory minicamp for a shoulder injury. Now, normally I wouldn't bring this up because people miss minicamp for many reasons. But this is a guy who's now been injury prone and sat out a series in a game because he was tired. This is why I bring it up, because he was crazy enough to say, "Coach, I'm just going to sit out and play. Man, I'm tired. It's the middle of the game. Man, I'm tired. I'm just going to go sit down. Sit me out for a play." If you did that on my team, you'd be traded, you'd be cut, or you'd be traded the next day. Because how are you going to play on a football field and be tired halfway through the game? How do you think the other men on that field are? You don't think they're tired, Anthony? You don't think they're sitting there going, "Oh, man, I wish I could go sit down. I wish I could go tell the coach I could go sit down for a play." You get to sit down for 4 plays. That's not I guess that wasn't enough for you. Didn't sleep good tonight. I don't know. But this is something that holds on to him with me for his career. When I bring him up, he's the quarterback that got tired and had to sit out a play because he couldn't make it the whole game. And now he's going to miss mandatory minicamp with a shoulder injury. Well, your backup quarterback coach is Daniel Jones. So you better hope Daniel Jones can do what he is more capable of. He wasn't utilized. I don't think Daniel Jones is good anyway. But you got Daniel on there to back up Richardson, or vice versa, because it's a quarterback competition. Because Anthony Richardson, because even though you've been there longer than Daniel Jones, does not mean you get to walk in there and say, I'm the starting quarterback this season, let's go. You haven't proven yourself yet. Go sit down or get out there and prove yourself. Stop getting injured. Go out there and prove yourself. If you can't, then retire. That's how I see it. So moving on, in a surprising signing that I didn't even know was going down. Nick Chubb left the Cleveland Browns and signed a 1-year, $2.5 million contract with the Texans. So, the Texans are stacking it up, man. They're getting good. They're giving chances. Don't blow this opportunity. Yes, you had Stephon Diggs last year. He got hurt, and y'all still made it to the playoffs. Well, now Stephon's with us in the Patriots. So now you've got Nick Chubb, and you've got all these other good players. Nico Collins. You've got a good quarterback in C.J. Stroud. How can you not make it to the playoffs again this year and make it farther this year? The only reason the Texans were out of it last year is because they had to go up and play the cheating Chiefs. And I know I've got Chiefs. I'm going to have Chief viewers on here going, "Why do you call them the cheating Chiefs?" I've got other videos throughout last season of why I say that. They give they're given every opportunity. Flags go in their favor. They go against the other team so Kansas City can, score the points. You can't touch Patrick Mahomes, even though every quarterback, every player in the NFL already knows what Patrick Mahomes is like, just like we know what Aaron Rodgers is like, which we'll get into Aaron here in the next story. So, you know that Patrick Mahomes is going to pass the ball to Travis Kelce. I think the shine's off Kansas City now. But they're cheating because, they've got the refs in their back pocket. Let me just be blunt here. They've got the refs in their back pocket. And I know I'm going to get some, well, why do you say that? Look at last season. Just look at last season. And then you got teams like the Eagles who go out in the Super Bowl and say, you know what? We're going to play the Chiefs and we're not going to let them tell us that the Chiefs are going to win this. We're going to go out and win it. So I just got an alert here that, they're ending mini camps for the day. And Hunter Renfrew, who signed with the Carolina Panthers, ended the day by catching a deep pass over his shoulder. Sounds like a Randy Moss catch to me. In other news, the Seahawks make Michael Dixon the NFL's highest paid punter with a 4-year, $16.2 million extension. Never heard of a punter getting that much money, but I guess you learn something new every day. We'll get into that in a few minutes. Moving on, Terry McLean is not at the Commanders minicamp now. He's skipping the mandatory events while he seeks an extension. Now, this is what I'm talking about. You sit out for an extension. Don't do that. If you've got multiple years left on your contract, play your contract out. That last year of the contract, make it a good one. Move on. TJ Watt is doing the same thing. He's skipping minicamp because he wants a new contract. Although here's the deal with TJ Watt. He's still got one more year left on his contract, and he's getting paid $21 million this year. He's getting paid $21 million this year, and he's sitting out minicamp because he wants a new contract. Why? You're going to get paid the money. Worry about the extension in the offseason. Don't do it during the season, even though I'm not a Pittsburgh fan. And with the story I'm getting ready to tell you guys just cements the fact that I will never be a Pittsburgh fan after this. But TJ Watt, get to minicamp, practice. Speaking of the Steelers, the big story this week was, you guessed it, Aaron Rodgers had to get the news all for himself. He signed with the Steelers like everybody knew he was going to. He signed a 1-year, $13.65 million extension with $10 million guaranteed. Not extension. He signed a 1-year, $13.65 million contract with $10 million guaranteed. Now, he didn't pull the Brett Favre. He didn't go from Green Bay to the Jets to Minnesota like Brett did, and I'm happy about that. Because I wouldn't be calling him Aaron Rodgers, I'd be calling him Brett Favre Jr. However, he goes to the Steelers. Here's the kicker. He had a 8-hour meeting with them about a month and a half ago. Drug this thing out until minicamp. And I caught it, y'all. Drug it to minicamp, and all the news was on him. He got his signing, but here's the thing. I found out Aaron Rodgers was Pittsburgh's third choice at quarterback, y'all. Pittsburgh didn't want him. The first thing they tried to do was trade for Matthew Stafford. Well, Matthew Stafford got his extension with the Rams, which I think is great. Then they go try to re-sign Justin Fields. Justin Fields said, "Oh, heck no." And he went to the Jets. Here we go with Mr. Third choice in Aaron Rodgers. Tomlin didn't want him. I'm sure the players didn't want him. The only reason he's there is because he wanted to be there. And then I see today that Myles Garrett has only played Aaron Rodgers once in his career. Myles Garrett is a player for the Cleveland Browns who plays against Pittsburgh twice a year. He's only played Aaron Rodgers once in his career. Now he gets to play Aaron Rodgers twice a year. I can't wait for the Browns to beat the Steelers. Oh, and then to pull it all off, guess who the Steelers' first game is against, y'all? If you know the schedule, y'all know who it is. Who do y'all think it's against? That's right. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets going up against each other. Well, who's the quarterback for the Jets now? Justin Fields. So it's a revenge game for Aaron against the Jets, and it's a revenge game against Justin Fields against the Steelers, because Justin played for the Steelers last year. Aaron played for the Jets last year. This is unbelievable, y'all. I've never been an Aaron fan, never will be an Aaron. Well, let me back up. I was an Aaron fan at one time. Back when he won before he won the Super Bowl, when Green Bay traded Brett Favre away and brought Aaron in, I was an Aaron Rodgers fan. He won the Super Bowl against, that's right, Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl against the Steelers. So he prevented the Steelers from getting a Super Bowl back in 2010. Now, all these years later, he prevents Pittsburgh from getting another Super Bowl by playing on the team. That's right, I said it. He's going to prevent Pittsburgh from winning a Super Bowl this year because he's on the team. You know it. I know it. Everybody in America knows it. Even Aaron Rodgers fans know it. They know he's washed up. They know he's no good, and they know he needs to go home. But we'll see how the Steelers do this season, and I know all eyes are going to be on the Steelers this year. And the Patriots played the Steelers, and Patriots, Drake May, Coach Vrabel, let's go out there and let's beat them. You know how Aaron works. You know how the Steelers are. Go out there and beat the Steelers. I think it's week 4 this year. Let's do it. All right, y'all. So that's all for the sporting. That's all for the news. Let's move into some scores. So first we're going to start with the NBA playoff scores. We're in the NBA Finals now. So on Thursday we had Game 1. And the Pacers defeated the Thunder 111-110. So the Pacers lead that series 1-0. The Pacers came back to win that game, y'all. The Thunder had it won, and then with like 15 seconds left, Pacers go for it, make it, and win by 1 point. So now Pacers lead the series 1-0. And then on Sunday, the Thunder turn around. Now the Pacers won in Oklahoma City Thursday night. So then Sunday night, they played Game 2 in Oklahoma. And the Thunder defeated the Pacers 123-107. So to tie that series at 1 game apiece. Game 3 is Wednesday night, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. on ABC, and I've got the Thunder winning in 6 games. I've talked to people where they have the Thunder winning in 5, and some of them say the Pacers are going to win after that. Win the championship after the Pacers won Game 1 in the fashion they did. I've got Pacer fans and I've got Thunder fans. Either way, I'm going with the Thunder this year, y'all. Pacers are a good team, but they'll be back in it. Like I said, the next game is Wednesday night at 8:00 on ABC, so make sure to tune in for that. Moving on, we've got the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs going on right now. And on Wednesday, we had the Oilers defeat the Panthers 4-3 in overtime. So the Oilers take a 1-0 series lead. They lead that series by 1 game. On Friday night, we had the Panthers defeat the Oilers 5-4 in 2 overtimes to tie that series at 1 game apiece. We didn't have any games on Monday, but yeah, this is another good series, y'all. This is a series that I think is going to go back and forth, and I truly, truly, truly believe that this series is going to go into 6 games. I truly believe that. And I believe in the end, the Florida Panthers are going to win this game. And it's going to be, and they're going to prevent Canada from winning. And I know I'm going to have I'm going to have people from Canada look at that and say, what do you have against Canada? Nothing. Canada's where hockey was, invented. Hockey is a Canadian sport. But in America, it's going to be what it. Actually, on Monday night, we did have a game, and I'm going to give you that score here in a minute. On Monday night, we had the Panthers defeat the Oilers 6-1. That's right, they dominated them 6-1 for Florida to take a 2-1 series lead. Now, I saw something that was interesting here. I believe it was the coach of Florida. That coach now has like over 1,000 wins in his career over the span, and he's coached like 3 or 4 different teams, and the Carolina Hurricanes was one of them. So, looking at it, he's good. He could do it. But the next game is tonight. No, it's Thursday night. I'm sorry. The next game's Thursday night at 8:00 on True TV. The next hockey game. Moving on to the UFL semifinals. We had the USFL championship game between the Panthers and the Stallions. Now, all season, I've been picking the Stallions to win. Well, this is hard to say, y'all. This is hard to say because I've had the Stallions going to win this whole season. And then on Sunday, for the USFL championship, the Panthers improved to 6-4, defeating the Stallions, who dropped to 7-3. The Stallions got knocked out, y'all. How bad was it, you ask? 44-29. So the Panthers hold the USFL championship. So they move on to play the winner of the Defenders Battlehawks game, which is the XFL championship game. The Defenders improved to 6-4, defeating the Battlehawks, who dropped to 8-2. And I had the Stallions and the Battlehawks winning and going to the championship, and I had the Stallions winning. The Stallions got knocked out, and the Battlehawks got knocked out. The Defenders defeated the Battlehawks 36-18. Now, that being said, the Battlehawks are the only team to not have an XFL championship now. And this dates back to before they merged the teams. So, on Sunday, at 8 o'clock, on Saturday night, at 8 o'clock on ABC, we have the 6-4 Defenders going up against the 6-4 Panthers. Will I be watching? You right, I'll be watching. This is for the UFL championship. Both teams are 6-4. I am picking. You know what? I'm going to pit the Defenders in this game. The Washington Defenders. That's what I'm going to do. Yep, I'm going with the Defenders in this game. I'm picking the Defenders to win the UFL championship, and that would be an XFL team winning it. Yep, I'm picking the Defenders to win, y'all. So tune in on Saturday at 8 o'clock on ABC to watch the Defenders and the Panthers play their game. It's going to be a good one, y'all. That's all I can say. Moving on, we had Scotty Scheffler win by 2 strokes in the golf championship last weekend. This is his 3rd win in 4 weeks. The only week Scotty hadn't won in the past month was last week. This is the reason he was number 1, or he is number 1. So that's all for golf. I'm grateful that Scotty won. I hope he continues to win. I want Rory McIlroy to win some more. But we're going to move into the music part of the show now. Now, everybody knows that saw that I did The Fray last week as my Who We're Listening To. And I said that I was able to go see The Fray on Saturday night. Well, y'all, I went and saw them, and it was one of the best concerts. It was the best concert. They sounded good. They played all their hits, and it was just great to hear them live. I made a playlist that's on my channel, and you subscribe, like this video, and comment, and hit the notification bell. When you go to my YouTube channel, I made the playlist for The Fray. They're fantastic. In fact, they're in my top 10 now. I've got to look at my top 10 now and just see, because I was having trouble when somebody asked me about my top 10. I could just rattle them off. I could rattle off the top 5. Now I can probably rattle off the top 8. It was that 9 and that 10 that were bugging me. Well, now I think I know. I'm putting The Fray in my top 10. And when I get all my top 10 together, I will more than likely do a video and just say, or do a short and say, here's my top 10. Who's y'all's top 10? But moving on to the Who We're Listening To segment, we're listening to George Strait this week. He's a country artist from Texas, Poteet, Texas. He started singing in 1976. I actually found out about him around 94 with songs like Check Yes or No, Blue Clear Sky, True, Heartland, all that. His debut album was Straight Country. He's had 31 studio albums, 104 singles, 60 number ones, 16 music videos, 12 compilation albums, 3 live albums, and his new album was 2024's Cowboys and Dreamers. He's had 60 number ones, and one of his albums is 50 that I've got is called 50 number ones. It's a great album. I'm actually listening to 50 number ones now. It has all these great hits on it. He's one of my favorite country artists, y'all. When you talk about that genre of just country music, that was George. George was country back when country was country. Country's not country anymore. Country's like country rock now. That's why you've got the Jason Aldeans, all those that are country rock. And don't get me wrong, I love Jason. But he's country rock. He's not country like George Strait, like Alan Jackson, like all these 90s country artists. And I grew up in the 90s, and the 90s country is my favorite country. So, for the what song we're listening to, I'm actually going to do the album. I was going to do 50 number ones, and then I realized 50 songs in a week is probably too much. So I would definitely check out 50 number ones because that's my favorite album from his. But I want you guys to check out the new album, Cowboys and Dreamers. Let me know what you think of the album. Let me know what you think of George Strait. Let me know who y'all are listening to. Who's y'all's favorite bands? Who's y'all's favorite genre? What's y'all's favorite genre? And what's the last great decade for music, do you guys think? Do you think this music now is good? Do you think the music back in the day was better? I seem to think the music back in the day was better. I still stick with my George Strait country, my 90s country. For rock, I still do Linkin Park, Nickelback, Breaking Benjamin, all that. So I tend to like the older music better. And I said that a few weeks ago. That's why I'm doing all these older artists and not more of the newer artists, because I don't think the music now is even worth talking about. They've got a few good ones, and if I find, when I come across them, I'll let you guys know. But, the George Strait's the music I like. And I want to know what you guys think, who y'all's favorites are. So, drop that in the comments. Drop y'all's thoughts on the video in the comments. And who do you think is going to win the UFL championship? Is it going to be the Defenders or the Panthers? I'm picking the Defenders. Who do y'all think? But that's about all I've got for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed going the distance with me. As always, hit that thumbs up button and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. You guys have a good rest of the week and a good weekend, and I will see you guys next week. God bless.